with the new M1 MacBook Pro, is it worth the switch or maybe not? Let's find that out in this video. But before that, let's roll the intro. Hey, what's up? It's always me, Johnny, and welcome to my new video. So, as I said before, we are gonna talk about the new MacBook Pro, and so the new chip from Apple, so the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, of course. So I will start by telling you that I don't have actually a new MacBook Pro right here because I still haven't decided yet if I have to buy and test one or maybe just stick to my M1 MacBook Pro. So in the meantime, I've watched and I've seen a lot of benchmark and tests about this new MacBook Pro. So I wanted to do this video for you, just like for me, because maybe you are undecided or maybe you just want to try a new MacBook. And so with this video, I will try to explain if it's worth it maybe to switch from the M1 MacBook, or maybe if it's worth it to just buy a brand new MacBook Pro, or maybe still buy an M1 MacBook. They just came out just a few days ago, and we can see just a lot of creators already making some videos and some tests about these new machines. And of course, all of these tests and benchmarks that you will see on the internet are just very fresh. So you have to consider also that these laptops can improve maybe in a time with updates and some other stuff. So that being said, let's talk about the real performance of these new laptops. So as I was saying before, I've seen a lot of tests online. So you can already see the numbers of synthetic benchmarks that you can find around the web. So you can just make an idea if they are just powerful enough, or maybe they are just very similar to the M1 MacBook. So for example, I've said multiple times that my M1 MacBook Pro, it's not meant to do some heavy works. So if you are doing like 6K, 4K, 8K with some heavy files, video editing, maybe you will buy another machine other than the M1 MacBook. So in this case, of course, I am talking about video editing because it is the most intensive type of work that I do on my channel and also out of my channel. So I'm talking about the video editing world. If we talk about like 3D and some other stuff, I don't know pretty much anything about that. So I don't know how it is the performance with those type of software with the new MacBooks. But anyway, I can tell you that some other creators just did some tests with my favorite editing software that I'm using right now, of course, and it is Premiere Pro. And we know that Premiere Pro, it isn't pretty much optimized for any machine on this planet. So it's not the best comparison benchmark, we can say, but I am working on that. I am very interested on that one. And if a machine it's working very good with that software, it is pretty much what I needed. And also I can tell that it is pretty much powerful. So I've seen some tests made by a big YouTuber. You probably know it. It's called Dave2D. So you can see the full video on his channel. And we have some synthetic score just to compare the results between the different chips and also between other platform like Intel, and maybe because here we are talking about also graphic power, maybe also some NVIDIA and other graphic cards, of course. So as you could see, there is an improvement overall on pretty much any other chips. So the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, with of course a big improvement on the M1 Max chip. But you could see that on the M1 Pro, so the basic one with the 8 core and not 10 core, you can see that the difference, it is not that much. The M1 MacBook right now, you can find it like pretty much at under $1,000, so in pretty much every country. And yes, of course it got less performance, and of course it didn't have like the 120 Hz screen panel and all of the good stuff, but I mean it's less than $1,000 versus like $2,000. So you can already make a choice by that, because if you extremely need like some of that power for your work, because it will be like very useful, then I can suggest you to buy one of those laptop. But if you need it for like medium to light work kinda, you can still easily buy an old M1 MacBook without any problem. Then there were some rumors that the new powerful GPUs on the new chipset by Apple because it goes up to like 32 core on the GPU and 64 gigabytes of dedicated graphics. There were some rumors that this GPU are powerful like 3080 from Nvidia, so one of the most powerful dedicated graphics on the market right now. But it turns out that it doesn't get any close to that power, and it did came out that the M1 Max with the maxed out GPU core is kind of close to a 3060 from Nvidia, always from Nvidia, and maybe sometimes just a mobile 3070, but just in some tests. And so here, of course, going back to the video editing topic, if you have to edit some footage with like Final Cut Pro, that it is a native software for the Mac, of course, you're not gonna have pretty much any problem with any of these laptops, of course. But if you're using maybe some other software like Premiere Pro, for example, I mean, you will benefit from this power. When you're just editing the video in playback, you're not gonna have many problems. You're not gonna have like stutters or stuff like that. But I've seen that there isn't like much of a difference when you go to render a file, for example. And so this, for now, it is holding me to try one of those, because I don't feel that there is that much of a difference like last year with Intel and the M1 chip. So maybe in the future, if there will be like an occasion to try one of those Macs, one of those MacBooks, I will be happy to do that. But for now, I can hold a little bit and then see other tests on the internet, see other benchmarks, and also see some real life usage, because they claimed, of course, a very good battery life, but of course the laptop are more powerful than my M1 MacBook, so I don't believe that they will be like close to a laptop like this. And of course the battery life, it is very important to me for now. So for now I will stick to my M1 MacBook right here, but I am very curious to try like the 14 inches model, because maybe the 13 one, it's a little bit small, and the 14 inches, maybe it could be the perfect size. And also I want to see with my eyes how it's working like the ProMotion screen, because I am very used to use, of course, some high refresh rate screen. So I will be very happy to try one of those just to see if there is some difference with my 144 Hz screen right here and all of that stuff. But of course I lost myself as always. So going back to the main topic, so it is worth the switch from like an M1 MacBook, or maybe just to buy one of those new machines instead of an M1 MacBook. Of course, we are talking about if you are interested into MacBooks. So my answer is wait a little bit more. Maybe you can see better if that is a machine for you, because those are professional tools. So if you don't need those tools like critically, I cannot suggest you to buy one of those. Instead, if you are doing like small works, or maybe you are traveling a lot, just think on buying an M1 MacBook. That being said, we will see how it goes in the next weeks. If probably I will buy one of that and bring it to my channel. If that could be the case, just let me know down below in the comments if you are interested into that, of course. And of course, thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, just hit a like button down below. And if you see the big red button down below, just click it, because it means that you're not subscribed yet. So just click it because it's free and it will help this channel to grow. So that's been it. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.